Issue 59. We start out in the outskirts of Metropolis with workers saying that they have a security field that will protect the caravan from being messed with. Why is nobody getting suspicious that there's a brilliant inventor in the traveling circus caravan considering the mere existence of that security field? You'd think they put two and two together. Kintavor says that he's still picking up the signal and there's a new kind of robot around here somewhere. How can you detect robots in particular? Does he detect that their electricity is in an exact shape? Sonic attacks the robot so silly looking and silly talking that I have to wonder if Eggman's making it this way on purpose for comedy relief, to throw off Sonic and distract him from a real threat and make himself laugh. But Kintavor didn't say he detected two robots. Sonic says, "Is he for real?" while the robot calls himself Mr. Blobnik. Grimer and Eggman get approached by a warping pink Omniviewer screen, and Grimer gets kidnapped by Metal Sonic. Eggman says that the Metalix project is meant to be developing a Badnik version of Sonic. He's talking as if he hasn't already developed those with a million Metal Sonics. And he proceeds not to explain why the Metal Sonics have free will. As Amy continues to smile in amusement while Johnny looks worried, the robot complains that he forgot to put batteries in his umbrella weapon, and Sonic calls him a loser like an elementary school bully, looking annoyed. At least he's sort of justified being a bully because he's an evil robot trying to murder him. And it's fascinating to see a situation where a classic bully, who's usually a completely unlikable character, is a hero because he has the right targets in this crazy world. As I continue waiting for a twist for this robot, since it seems to be way too comedic relief to make sense in universe for Grimer to build, although him being built by someone else would have been interesting, Sonic runs around him in a circle to finish him off. Grimer asks what happened since the Metal Sonic base was supposed to be an automated factory to produce the ultimate Metal Sonic. I guess it would have worked like evolution, where eventually it would have been the best one of all. Metal Sonic Kai says that the Brotherhood of Metalix wants to use Miracle Planet's magical power for themselves, and Grimer characteristically agrees, like a scared guess man, being smart about the situation. Mr. Blobnik explodes, freeing a kid, and Johnny asks where Sonic is. Sonic's trapped in a bubble, and as I expected, the robot says that his foolish appearance put them off guard while he's shooting a laser at the ground. There was no reason for Grimer to think he needed to put them off guard, so it only happened for comedy relief. Sonic is kidnapped while saying the relatable line, "This is very embarrassing." I had the biggest smile from that. That's self-aware of him. After being kidnapped, Sonic is told that he'll be let go because Eggman wants to combine their forces to defeat the Metalix. Well, great timing on their part then, he doesn't have to get tortured. In the next story, which I've heard about and I'm looking forward to it, the security alarm goes off in the Chaos Chamber while Knuckles is getting all the ancient technology back online, which he hadn't already done a long time ago after spending his life on the island for some weird reason. Maybe he followed the instructions of an ancient text ordering him to wait until he was old enough to try to do it. Knuckles learns that it's an energy surge in Mushroom Hill and he takes the Zoom tube to go there. He sees the civilians simply building their new homes peacefully and then notices a weird glow and sees Tails approaching a green portal with someone on the other end as Knuckles lampshades Tails being here of all places. But then says that Tails was supposed to be helping Mushroom Hill, so never mind, it makes sense that he'd be on Angel Island then. Knuckles pounces on the sinister-looking fox, naturally assuming Tails is being kidnapped while thinking of Tails as the little guy. It's sweet of him to try to save him. Knuckles learns about what's been really going on, and again, after Tails says there's been a misunderstanding right in front of the idiot doesn't let him explain himself once again, and says that the two Enchanter Kings have been taken captive by Trog. They had sent Errol the Warrior to attempt a rescue, and he was changed in the Land Beyond, becoming a monster. Sadly, the story ends right there when I really want to see more of it. All for another story, as I wish that the issues didn't insist on having 3 stories per issue. The story barely started. In the next story, Sonic pulls out a few fire extinguishers to deal with the fire-breathing Badnik in Hilltop Zone while saying, "Hey, I'm not just good-looking short stuff," in response to the compliment to his intelligence. Again, why does Sonic have to have all the smart ideas? They destroy the Badnik, and the Badnik repair squad says it's wrecked beyond repair, and coincidentally Eggman shows up there. One of the Mobians that are inexplicably in favor of Eggman says that Sonic seems to always know exactly how to destroy the Badniks, and he somehow knows that Sonic knows exactly which Badniks he'll find in each zone. The first thing could be explained away by mere experience, and the second, he shouldn't have even realized that as a mere grunt worker with no access to spy cameras all over the place. That makes the whole plot after this feel forced, as it gives Eggman a plan to put much stronger badniks in Green Hill Zone. I don't see why we had to have all those panels before this point to justify Eggman having this plan. And the Mobians supporting Eggman for no reason are really annoying. After it's mentioned that capturing badniks is dangerous, they take an airship to Miracle Planet, and the story ends. The first two stories were by Nigel Kitchen. In the first one, Sonic gets kidnapped by a funny-looking robot, just to be told by Eggman that he needs his help against Metallix because he just kidnapped Grimer to try to get power from Miracle Planet. In the second story, Knuckles goes into the Nameless Zone because he naturally assumes Tails is being kidnapped by a shitty-looking figure, and they get approached by Arrow the Warrior after he was turned into a monster in Land Beyond. I love the concept of Knuckles being with Tails in a solo adventure. I just wish the story could continue on for the rest of this issue. Instead of having a story by Mark Isles, this feels totally pointless for most of it, as we could have immediately cut to Eggman deciding to put more dangerous robots in Green Hill Zone, and cut out all of the story and skip straight to the rest of the story arc for it. I really hate these badnik repairmen, because there's no logical explanation for why they'd ever like and respect someone as obviously evil as Eggman. It's worse than a certain traitor with Ixis. They're paper-thin villains, who, the female one, looks completely out of place in the Sonic franchise, and it wouldn't be so hard to just have all these Mobian villains be robots and have it make sense. The plot would be exactly the same.